Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sarva Mangala Mangalde Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanyatrambike Devi Narayani Namosute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha Om Aim Brim Klim Chamundai Viche Om Aim Brim Klim Chamundai Viche Om Aim Brim Klim Chamundai Viche Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha Om Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 25th of September 2025. I want to offer my prostrations, Ananta Koti Namaskar, to all the great sages present on the planet today, as well as in the past, in the future, and to the one Supreme Parabrahma, Paramatma, Mahashakti, also in terms of Navratri, during this auspicious time. We are currently on day number 4. This is the 4th day of Navratri, and today is actually, this day is dedicated to Devi Kushmanda, Kushmanda. So we're going to be talking about this today, who she is, what is the significance of this form of Devi, as well as connection, of course, to Parabhakti, Prema Bhakti, and to the Mukta liberated state. So these points we shall try by the grace of Bhagavan. Just a couple of scheduling points. Our regular programming is continuing as it is. We are having the Siddha Kunjika Havan every evening. We started this, on the first day of Navratri, in this current series. So this evening it will be, this evening will be at 8:30 in the evening. We'll be starting at 8:30. And then that will go until about 11:30, 11:45, something like that. So yesterday was also done very nicely. We'll continue this way. And then on Durgashtami Day, we'll be having a much longer puja and havan also. That will be 117 times the Siddha Kunjika Stotram will be chanted on that day. And then hopefully we'll be able to continue on this path even further. Okay, so having said that, this is very interesting. The 4th day of Navratri is about Kushmanda Devi, Ma Kushmanda or Devi Kushmanda. What does this word mean, Kushmanda? It is made out of 3 parts. The Ku means little. Ushma, U-S, Ushma means heat or energy. And Anda means the egg. So the subtle heat that births the cosmic age, that creates the cosmic egg. Now, what does that mean actually? What is that? So, metaphysically, she is Shakti as the initiator spark that turns stillness into a cosmic living, into a living cosmos from undifferentiated potential to first vibration. I'll explain the meaning behind that. So, first of all, absolute stillness is where, there is just, where the Brahmand is not created, universe is not created yet. It is just completely still. There is just an avastha like that where there is no creation at all. And then from that non-created state, which is an absolutely still state, there is actually the creation of the cosmos. So that is its meaning. So from undifferentiated potential to first vibration, spandana. It's a quite intricate and very profound metaphysical process, but that is how this works. Now, that's the meaning of Kushmanda. Now, the Parashakti is Nirgun. So Nirgun in the sense that absolute, it is just pure consciousness. In that same Shakti then emerges as Icha, Gnan and Kriya Shakti. the Ichha Shakti, Gnan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, the Shakti of knowing, the Shakti of will, the Shakti of doing. So Kushmanda Devi personifies the Kriya Shakti ignited by heat, Ushma, which that crystallizes into the Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the golden or the cosmic egg. These are metaphysical and, how can we say, tattvas. And they can be seen in samadhi. That is how they are seen. But this kind of explains how the creative process comes about. The entire creation of the Brahmand is what is described here. That from that egg, that Hiranyagarbha, that golden cosmic egg, unfolds time, space. That space is created. Space and time are created. Subtle elements, they're called tanmatras, they are created. The gross elements are created, Mahabhutas, Prithvi, Jal, Vayu, Teja, Akash. And from that, all of the different bodies, the different beings are created. So this is a process of creation. I hope it's clear. This is also called Maya Sabalit Brahma in Gujarati or in the Vedanta. I think this is the Gujarati expression, but it may be in other languages. It just means that Maya and Brahman come together, or they are together, but this is the expression of Mahamaya this way, right? So look at these points very carefully. Just as a quick review, so it's very clear in our minds. Kushmanda Devi, which is the fourth day today, the worship of Devi Kushmanda means that we are connecting with the creative power, that extraordinary dynamic creative power, the Ushma, U-S-M-A, means heat. And then from that, the cosmic egg is created. That is called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha. So Hiranya means golden. Garbha means womb or egg. So it's not like a physical egg like this. It is the cosmic egg. You see, so it is just a way to describe what the rishis saw in the creative process. Amazing. So that is a form of Devi. When this entire Brahman, when billions of universes are actually created. Now, keep it in mind that time, meaning Kal, past, present, future, space itself called Bhautik Akash. This space that is talked about in physics is also created inside that cosmic egg. There's another space that is not created, that is Sanatana, that is called Chidakash. You see, so this is Bhautik Akash and that is called Chidakash. So that Chidakash is one of the forms of Akshara Brahma. Jisko Akshardham kehte hai. Akshardham has two forms. One is called Chidakash and the other is, which is Nirakar, Brahman, and the other is Sakar. So there are two forms of Akshara Brahma as per Vachanamrut Garada Pratham 21. So then the Nirakar form of Akshara Brahma, billions of universes come and go like bubbles. And this is where this Shakti, the Parashakti is active in the creation, sustenance, destruction of all of these different universes. Infinite number of universes are there. Like this. So they're all underneath Mahamaya. Okay, so this is quite a profound, it's just amazing cosmic level of realization. Now, okay, let's see here. There are a couple more points. So, textually or devotional lore says she dwells in or behind the sun. So philosophically, sun equals intelligence plus life force. The Surya mein jo Shakti hai, that is a dynamic power, right? So Surya is that is our main deity actually, Surya Narayan. Why is that? Because in the Brahmand, Surya is the incarnation of Narayana. It is an avatar, in fact, of Bhagwan Narayan in the universe, in the material universe. And there is actually what is called Surya Dev. So at the center of the sun, which we cannot see through the physical instruments or anything, only in Samadhi can you see it, that there is actually a Murti. Oh, Surya Narayan ki Murti hai. Murti meaning it's a form, it's a divine form, and Surya there are liberated beings living inside the sun, but you cannot see them through the telescope or through the physical instruments. They can only be seen through Samadhi. So this is another interesting point, that when we do Gayatri mantra or Surya Narayan ki jo mantra hai, Surya Kavach is there. There's all kinds of Surya mantras that are there, and then so those mantras as well as the Devi mantras. So actually, when we do Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Viche, it has everything completely, all the forms of Devi. Everything is, all the different upasana is inside this. But I'm just explaining this point because we are in three avastha: Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti avastha. But if a yogi connects, into the fourth dimension, Turiya avastha, to the Ida, Pingla, Shushmana, Nadi, they open up, and it is possible to enter into the Surya Loka. Yes, it's very interesting. And when a yogi enters into the Surya Loka, he sees the actual Narayana that is there, the Bhagavad Tattva. Because see, what we are seeing through our senses in the Jagrata Avastha, Swapna Avastha, is only a fragment of reality. Again, we don't have time to go into that today, but it's like, it is to give us the experience of this world, this way. But in Samadhi, the actual Tattva can be seen, that's Surya Narayan. That is accessible through mantra. That is the whole point. So there's many, many, many mantras like Aditya Rudayam. Aditya Rudayam is a massive mantra of Bhagavan Surya. You see, so actually wo sab Devi ke hi swarup hai in that sense, because they are under all of these stars and galaxies, and everything is underneath the Devi, underneath Mahashakti. So to access different places in the Brahmand, you can try to go by spaceship. Maybe you can go to some extent, when even physically you go there, that is still not the full access. The full access is only through Samadhi. There's no other way. There's no way to access. Like if you want to see the Narayana Tattva in the sun, or in the moon, like there are beings in the moon according to Bhagavatam. They're not like what we can see through by going there by a rocket ship. In Samadhi they can be seen. So the Ida, Pingla and Shushmana nadis that are inside, within this body, right? They connect with the entire Brahmand. This is the whole point. And those connecting points are the chakras. Chakras are the connecting points. So with Kushmanda Devi, this is, if I understand this properly, the chakra is Anahat chakra, I believe. Let me just double check that. I believe that is correct. Yes, Anahat chakra. It is the heart chakra. So this is one of the ways that the Anahat Nad is felt. When you enter into the Anahat chakra, again, this is very interesting because we have been talking about Prema Bhakti, right? So the worship of Radhika ji is actually when you worship Radha, those who are devotees of Radha, automatically all of the forms of Devi are within her, because she is the Parashakti with regards to Prema Bhakti. And that is the real goal. The goal is the abode of God, Golok Dham, for Bhagwan Krishna ke jo bhakta hai. And the goal is prema, undifferentiated, pure love. And that pure love for Paramatma, which is Paramatma, has billions of galaxies of energy within that. All the energy in billions of galaxies is inside that love. That is called Haladini Shakti. You see the connector. I hope this makes sense. We've been talking about Haladini Shakti, then Sandhini Shakti, all of these different extraordinary powers that are there inside the Golok Dham. So Golok Dham ke hi certain fragments of power are inside the Brahmand. ऐसी बात है ये. It is quite metaphysical. It's really quite amazing, right? But the question is to enter into that. So for example, in terms of sadhana, when we do Om, Aim, Hrim, Klim, Chamundaye Viche, Swaha, we are starting here in the Brahmand and going through, piercing through the different layers, into the Parashakti, into the abode of God, into the Kailasa Dham, Golok Dham. But it is going through the Brahmand, scenic path. This is how it is going, to clean it up, to clean up the entire path. You see, now, you can always take a helicopter and go straight to the top. The way you do that is by worshipping But there's two things needed. Complete saintliness. If we have 100% saintliness, total bypass into the Bhagavad Dham. It's a bypass, taking a helicopter instead going straight into the on top of the mount. What is that? The Mount Everest, or you can try to climb it. You take years and years of training. Yes, you can do that, or you can take a helicopter. Want to take a direct helicopter, go straight to the top. 100% saintliness, not 99%, not 99.999%, 100% is needed. Then there is a direct bypass out of all the Brahmand and everything straight into the Bhagavad Dham. And then you can do any upasana you want. Ram Bhagwan ki, Krishna Bhagwan ki, Radhika ji ki, Devi ki, jo upasana, Shiv ji ki, no problem. Hanuman ji ki, jaisi aapki ichha. But if that's 100% purification, saintliness is not there, all of these other upasanas are important. That's why we have Navratri, that's why all this is there, so that you can start in other ways and eventually go through the scenic route. That you want worldly things, family issues are there, family developments, internal disturbances are there. Everything gets cleaned up. It's a cleaning up process essentially. But it is a cleaning up from where we are, because we still have desires. We have this, we want that. We have issues, problems, the difficulties. We want material world level experiences. Then this is why there is the worship of Devi using Navaran mantra, using these different forms of the goddess. It is all Shakti Upasana, right? Now again, there's the metaphysics of the creation of the Brahman, but there is also where we are and going up into the abode of God from where we are, through sadhana, through bhakti, through prarthana. It's quite amazing. It's quite intricate actually. A couple of more things here to really talk about. It's most fascinating. We were talking about the sun. And to enter into the sun, yes, these are yogic sadhana. So for example, Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Vichai. Start doing this mantra 51,000 times, 100,000, 125,000 times, 1 million times. So when you mantra siddha ho jata hai at some point. And again, all of the Shakti and everything inside of us gets reset the more sadhana we do. And it gets reset, and when you're resting just resting in your own natural self, that opening happens of the nadis into the higher consciousness. From there, the planets can be seen, the Brahmand can be seen. You don't need to go anywhere through a spaceship. It's just, you're already connected to all that. Aisi baat hai wo. It's just, this is the whole concept of ashram or kuti, or like sitting in one place for meditation, dhyan. To create a meditation space, so that the rishis, that's what they were doing. They used to go into the nature, build an ashram there, build a deep place for meditation. They would be not bothered by anything, and they would sit for years in meditation, in dhyan, and they had access to all of this, access to what is beyond. Can see all the different devatas, can see the 14 lokas. Can see Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, can see all these different forms of Devi. Think about that. This is the Sanatan Dharma. It is the internal journey into the transcendental reality. The external journey is through objective science, telescopes and spaceships and microscopes and all those things to extend the senses. That's all it is. It's an extension of senses, like James Webb Space Telescope. It's finding new galaxies, different galaxies. Now so many theories in physics are going to be changed, because you can keep researching the external world. It's endless, and it is an extension. Karo is fine, but there's an internal research which is a different path. It is going inside through the revelation of mantras and all, and from that the actual tattvas can be seen. The spaceships and all that, you can even go to Andromeda galaxy, any galaxy. That is you're only seeing 1% of the reality, not even 1%. Not the full 14 lokas cannot be seen through any spaceship. How is it possible? It's not possible. They are in different layers, different dimension. You see, so they can only be seen in samadhi. Samadhi में जाएंगे, इसको निर्विकल्प samadhi कहते हैं, योग samadhi कहते हैं. Then all of this can be seen. And that is where a yogi sits for dhyan through these different mantras, and can sit for hours and hours and days, and then so not only that, even 5 minutes spent here, earth time, in samadhi is like hundreds and hundreds of years gone by. You see, so there's a relative differentiation of time itself. 1 second of Brahma is 660 years our time. So if a yogi goes into Brahmalok for just 1 second, 1 second is 1 second of Brahma is 660 years gone here. So it's like the Rishi can go inside that, and then when they come back, they may have only been gone for a short time here, but it feels like they have gone for extremely long period of time. They're not even inside the sansar anymore. This is these are the histories of the Rishi Parampara, because they're sitting. Your body is here for 10 minutes. The yogi goes into beyond. 10-minute time is gone there, but the experience could be of hundreds of years, thousands of years even. So it is one of those things that we don't realize. That's why they have Trikal Darshan, they have Siddhis and all those things. They can see everything. They can see the birth, creation and destruction of the cosmos. So one of the main scriptures that talks about all of this is Yoga Vashishta. Yoga Vashishta is a conversation between Bhagwan Ram and Vishishta Muni. And this is where these things are described in detail. It's and the other places also. But again, these kinds of saints, they are in the nature. They are living not in society at all. Because you cannot live in society. If you're doing these things, going into this kind of dhyan and meditation, you have to have a meditation place, have 100% brahmacharya, not be bothered with not even this body you're bothered with, is that kind of thing. And then this samadhi, then that access happens into that. There's no desire for anything inside this sansar. And then that is how the yoga samadhi can happen. But again, the beauty of krupa, Bhagwan ki krupa aisi hai, that same realization is available for everybody living in the normal world. How? How is that available? This is what the Gita is teaching us. Do your duties, live in the normal, usual world, keep attention on Paramatma, do it as a karma yoga, no problem. It is called Jnana Samadhi versus Yoga Samadhi. It is called a Jnani. So Arjun was taught, we are also taught to live inside this sansar in a very balanced way. We cannot go into the mountains and leave everything, and who knows where our next meal would even come from. Even the desire to eat food is gone. Think about that in Yoga Samadhi. Kuch bhi nahi rehta isme. Sharir hi nahi rehta. Sharir is living, not living, it doesn't matter. Think about that. So in that Yoga Samadhi, anything is possible. You're not even inside this world anymore. So that is a whole different matter. Yoga Samadhi kya hai exactly, and how the history behind it. Yes, there can be glimpses of these things. If it is the divine will, Bhagwan ki ichha, sometimes, people get glimpses, divine visions and things like that. That's okay. That's no problem. We have to live in this world in the best possible way, not run after Yoga Samadhi. You'll not be able to live in the world if you start running after Yoga Samadhi. And that's not for anybody. It's not for anybody actually. It is for very special individuals. They were, by divine will, they did this research, they brought it all out, and they brought it in a way that we can make use of that in our life. We don't have to do that, thousands of years of Yoga Samadhi research. What we have to do is to live according to the precepts that they have laid out, which is what the Upanishads are. Gita is there, or in Devi Upasana, we have all these beautiful mantras. Everything has been given to us already. We just have to just enjoy that, live that. We don't have to do the foundational research anymore for that. So that is the beauty of this. Because that way we are able to go hour to hour, day to day, in a very clear, very nice way, so that by the time the householder life eventually settles down, you can do much more bhakti and sadhana and everything, still living in the world, because the body will go eventually. So because of that, that internal connection towards Paramatma, living at home, living where we are, it can still happen without going into the mountains and building some ashram or something. It will not be successful doing that also, right? It won't work. So my only point is that these ideas are not simply symbolic ideas or something. These are actual possibilities. It is possible to enter into these chakras. The chakras are connecting points into infinite universes. So the consciousness that is the Atma Tattva can experience the various universes in samadhi. वो आगे की बात है. And actually, see, what happens here is that, like, when we go to sleep at night time, all the dreams stop. The अलौकिक अनुभव होता है. Bhagwan brings us back into Jagrat Avastha to do the work here. ऐसी बात है. So इसको कहते हैं योग nidra. In Vachanamrut, this is discussed that the Swapna Avastha dissipates. And so that 4 or 5 hours we're sleeping, some divine experience hota hai at that time. And then by grace of Paramatma, we come back into Jagrat Avastha. If it is not by the divine will, we'll now come out of that. We'll be finished, we've gone into a different place. The body will be finished here. But because there is causal body, there is ichha, there is still certain activity to be done, there is some karma to be done, or there is some divine will to do activity here. Bhagavan brings that yogi back into Jagrat Avastha, but he or she is a mukta. So one is liberated being while these avasthas are going, and that's the whole point we've been discussing. Now, hopefully you can see the connection here. If you have comments or questions about it, please do ask. It's a bit tricky to explain. The Jivan Mukta is living in the waking state, but is not stuck in the entanglements of Raga, Dvesha, Kam, Krodh, Lobh. None of those things are impacting the Jivan Mukta. The Jivan Mukta is a liberated being. The Avastha is there, but it is as if it is not there. That's the difference. The avastha is there, that we are awake. Right now we are all awake. But is there any agitation, any disturbance, anything like that? No, it's a mukta state. But the same activity continues. It is liberated action. And then in that activity, devotion is going on, bhakti is going on, seva is going on. Big saints today, bahut bade sant, that's how they live. They're not sitting in some nirvikalpa samadhi and not talking to anybody. They're doing their seva. They're doing what they have to do. Even saint is not just somebody sitting in temples. It could be just your ordinary person doing their ordinary activity, but is doing it in a very yogic way, in a very nice way, doing their seva, but they're liberated. That's the difference. So liberated action versus bound action. That's the difference. So one who is a siddha meaning one who is a mukta, is not bound. The action is liberated. Koi swarth nahi hai. There's no tension, hesitation, problems. All that thing is gone. So then what remains? Two things remain. Only two things remain. Seva and bhakti. Nothing else. There is no third thing. Every action is seva. It is seva for all. You could be going to work, that is seva. Driving a car, that is seva. Talking to somebody, that is seva. Seeing a bird, that is seeing Paramatma. That's very simple. Bahut seedhi baat hai. And time is spent, of course, ordinary activity continue, but the activity is not done in such a way where there is entanglement. No, it is an unbounded activity. Normal activity goes on, and there's a lot of time spent. Free time is spent in bhakti sadhana, and then other time is spent as a karma yoga to still see the dimension of this sansar, see it for what it is, be aware of that, not to reject it, to accept it, but also put some boundary around that so that the antakarana doesn't get polluted. One who is a liberated being makes sure that one doesn't go into the bound state. Itna samajhna hai. Sachin ko aur aap sabko itna samajhna hai. We have to understand this much. If we get a glimpse of the liberated state, which we will, if you haven't done so already, you'll get it. You get a glimpse of it. You get definitely a glimpse of it for a few minutes, few hours, few days, whatever. Usko chodna nahi. It's that is Krupa. That is the whole point of doing all of these sadhanas during Navratri and during Shivratri and all the different times throughout the whole year. What is the point of it? The point is that 24 hours we are mukta. Every moment is Shivratri. Every moment is Navratri. Every moment is Janmashtami. Every moment is Krishna. Every moment is Radha. Every moment to moment is Ananda. This is our goal. Every moment is Diwali. There's a beautiful bhajan that Brahmanand Swami has written. Raje mare din din Diwali. The people, Swaminarayan devotees know this very well. It's a beautiful bhajan, right? And that's the whole point, that every single moment is Diwali. Every day is Diwali. So let me show you actually. Hold on, just one. I'll play this bhajan for you. I'll do a screen share here for you. That these kirtans written by these extraordinary saints, they're living in that liberated state. Raje mare din din Diwali re. That every moment, every day is Diwali. And in that state, Bhagavan ka sakshatkar. Bhagavan is with us continuously. There is no breakage of the link, breakage of the presence. This is the point. There's no breakage of the presence. And so what is the anubhav? It is ananda. The experience is ananda. The experience, you see all the instruments being played by these devotees. What is the point there? That our life, every aspect of life becomes a beautiful instrument, musical. Our life becomes musical. It's amazing actually when we really understand how this all connects. This is only 4 minutes long. This is in Gujarati, I'll explain. See, the meaning of the Mohan Avya means Bhagavan, Mohan means Krishna, is coming inside the temple. Which temple? Is it outside temples? Of course. It's not about that so much, it's about you are the temple. This is the whole point. Now see that line, that Utsav. Utsav means that celebration. Celebration is what? Only during certain times? Every day. The Jivan Mukta is in a constant state of celebration. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Kya sthiti hai ye? Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? There we go. I'm clicking the wrong thing here. It's very interesting, that brightness that is in our life. Once that Atma Prakash, Divya Prakash, Brahma Prakash opens up, Bhagavan ki Murti, that is Mahashakti. That is the blessings of Mahamaya, that she opens that dimension, that doorway into this state where there is moment to moment Brahma Prakash, Divya Ananda. This is called Mukta state. This is Parabhakti. So the activity continues. But see this clearly. There's no entanglement with the sansar. There is love and affection and seva. There's 100% vairagya. And at the same time, there is living in the framework of the world without getting trapped inside Maya. Not at all. There's no more entrapment. There's no more trouble. There's no more arguments. There's no more problems. All that thing is obliterated once and for all. And once it is gone, then the life is a liberated living. It is Ananda. Isko Ananda kehte hai. So today, on this day, it is 9 o'clock now, so I do want to stop here. Kushmanda Devi, the cosmic egg, Om Devi Kushmandaye Namaha. That is the mantra. Om Devi Kushmandaye Namaha. बहुत स्वरूप है माता जी के. इसका सारांश इतना ही है. All the forms of Devi is to obliterate the Rakshasas. Rakshasas are these demonical forces. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Matsar. ये जो सब internal Rakshas. Rakshas means they're sucking energy. destroying energy, destroying buddhi, destroying everything. That is destroyed. It is the destruction of those forces, those tattvas, those aspects in human civilization that are damaging all of us. So that stops. And that is the motherly power. That is the Devi as a ma, as a mother. Ya Devi sarva bhuteshu matru rupena samstita. Namastasya, 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 namo namah. Lots of things can be said about this. I want to offer again my respects to all of you. Thank you all so much. It is absolutely amazing. And just as a quick reminder, remember that the Shailaputri Devi and Brahmacharini Devi, they stabilize our will and tapas. Chandraghanta Devi harmonizes mind's dualities. Kushmanda Devi ignites manifestation from intent to living order, the manifestation that we want to see happen in our life. And of course, we want good experiences in life, absolutely. But those experiences are there so we can appreciate the glory of Prakriti without getting stuck into Raga, Dvesha, Aham, Mamatva. It's an interesting connection this way. And then on that basis, we can progress further. Let me do the closing mantra, and then we'll open it up for any comments. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Guru Medeva, Sarvakarishu Sarvadam Ganganapate Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha, Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive, Sarvartha Sadike, Sharan Nitrambake Devi Narayani Namostute, Om Aim Rim Klim, Chamundaye Viche, Om Durge Durge Rakshini, Tata Swaha, Om Devi Kushmandaye Namaha, Om Rim Swaha, Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.